Hello dear students. So today we are going to revise lesson number 3, The Little Girl, which is written by Catherine Mansfield, and we will get to know that what is about this lesson. So do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reason for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. Actually, now you are 15 years old or 20 years old. When you were 5 years old or 6 years old, so at that time when your parents were scolding you, and now you are not scolding by your parents. So see the difference. Can you find any difference between that age and now this age? We will get to know. Okay. So now this is a story about a little girl whose feelings for her father changed from fear to understanding. Will probably find an echo in every home. So now by this story we will get to know that what is the feeling of a little child and why she has changed his feeling for her father. Okay. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye, father. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. A figure to be feared means a person to be feared. Actually, for this little girl, her father was a person to be feared. Means she has some fear for her father. But here, every morning when he used to go to his office, so he always used to come to his bedroom and he always used to give a casual kiss on her forehead. And for her response, she always said, "Goodbye, father." And when the vehicle, with the help of vehicle, means her father used to go, when the sound of that vehicle is fainter by fainter, so then she relaxed, feel means the fear is going away from her. Okay. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers." And it happened when he used to come to his home in evening, so she always used to stand on a staircase, and from there only she heard what? About her father. How her father was shouting, how her father was asking for so many things. "Bring me a cup of tea in drawing room. Where is the paper? Has paper not come yet? Where is my slippers?" When shouting, when he arrived at his house in evening, Kezia, mother would call to her, "If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. And after that, her mother, Kezia's mother, asked her, "If you are a good girl, so come and just take off your father's shoes." So slowly, unwillingly, she came down. She used to come down to take off her father's shoes. And she opened the drawing room and she take off her father's shoes. Okay. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. So by that time, when she used to come to that place, drawing room. So by that time her father used to wear spectacles and he looked like that. So that it is just terrifying for that girl, that little girl. Okay. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? And when she raised to the father, then father said, okay, Kezia, if you are a good girl today, so please take off my shoes and keep it at its place. Then he asked, have you done anything today? Are you a good girl today? Then what she said? Don't know, father. I don't know, father. She could simply say. But here, what she spoke at that time, you don't know. If you shudder like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Actually, when she used to speak like that, he always said that if you will speak like that, so your mother will take you to the doctor. So please speak properly. And why she was speaking like that? Because of his fear. She feared. Already it is explained that to be feared means a person is to be feared. Okay. Now third paragraph. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. She is good in speaking. She is good in talking with everyone, but only one person was there that she could not speak properly, that was her father. So she stuttered. She repeat some letters. She could not speak properly. So because of that only her father said that if you will speak like that, so your mother will take you to the doctor to get you treatment. Okay. What is the matter? What are you looking so rest about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. What is the matter? Actually, every father wants that their son, their daughter should be confident. So here, her father also, he was very worried about his daughter. So because of that only he asked, what is the matter? What are you looking so raised about? So he just called her mother. He just called his mother and he said, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Suicide means about to commit suicide, means please teach her something so that she comes to me with confidence and I should not say anything to her. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Now, he said, Kezia, please carry my teacup carefully to my table. Okay. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Now here Kezia explained her father. Her father was so big, his hands, his neck, especially his mouth. Why especially his mouth? When he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about his yawn. Means she thought about her father, that her father was not a normal person, her father was what? Just like a giant. Okay. On Sunday, now next paragraph. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. See, it happens on Sunday, all parents take rest. So, just like that, her father was also taking rest, and on Sunday, her grandmother asked her to go to her parents and talk with them. So, she went there, and what she found? Let's see that what she found. She found that her mother was reading paper, and her father was lying on bed and covering his face with the help of handkerchief, and putting his legs on the cushions. Okay. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched, and asked the time, then looked at her. When she was sitting on the stool, and continuously he was looking to her father. So her father asked the time, then looked at her. He asked, "What is the time?" And then he looked at her. So what he said, "Don't stare so, Kezia, you look like a little brown owl." He just made a fun of her. And he said, Kezia, don't look like that. Don't stare like that, because you just look like what? Brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. One day what happened? When she was kept indoors with a cold, actually her father's birthday was about to come, and her grandmother told her, "You should give him some surprise gift so that you can be very close to your father and your father will be pleased with you. So why don't you make a cushion for him, your father?" So she advised that you could make a pin cushion for a gift, and you can make a beautiful piece with the help of yellow silk. Her grandmother advised Kezia. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. But what to fill it with? With the hard work, she prepared, and she stitched in 3 sides. One side, second, third. She stitched with 3 sides. But what was the big question for her? The big question for her, that what are the things should be filled in that cushion? These are the things. These are the question. So that was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden, and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scrap. Actually, at that time, she did not find her grandmother to ask her that what should be filled in that cushion. So she went to her mother's bedroom, and there she was searching something so that she could fill in that cushion. But what she got there, on the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine papers. Gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuck her case, then sewed up the 4th side. What she found? She found that there were some piece of papers. There were some piece of fine papers, fine papers. And what she did? She tore in tiny pieces, and she filled that tiny pieces of papers in that cushion, and then sewed up the 4th side, which was left to stitch. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Actually, the paper, what she did with the papers, that was the papers of Kezia's father, and that was the speech what he has written and what he has to give, what he has to deliver in the Port Authority. Okay, so what happened at that night? At that night in her home, there was a hue and cry. Means all were running here and there, and they were asking, they were searching the papers. Servants were called, and servants were asked. Means he asked to the servants that have you seen this paper? Mother were also asked. Means everybody was asked, but nobody got the fine papers. Nobody found. Finally, her mother went to Kezia's room. And Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in your room, in our room. Oh yes, she said, I tore them up for my surprise. Actually, nobody was knowing. Even her mother was also not knowing that Kezia took the papers and she tore the papers and filled in cushion. But surprisingly, she went to her room and she asked her, Kezia, did you find some papers from my bedroom? And she agreed, yes, I found, and I tore it and I fell in cushion. And then what happened? What? Screamed mother, come straight down to the dining room this instant. When she got to know that the papers were torn by Kezia, so instantly she called her, please come down to the dining room where your father was waiting for you. Okay. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. And there her father was just pacing through. He was very tensed. He was very worried about that. He said sharply, well, mother explained. Means Kezia's mother explained each and everything, that what she did, what her daughter did, she explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? He just wanted to clear that really she did that thing what her mother was telling him. No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. And after that, he asked his mother, please go and bring that damn thing what she has prepared. Just find out that where are the papers. Okay. Trying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. Actually, she was trying too much to explain. And she lay in shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Means she was lying over there. She was very sad. She didn't know that what she had done, but she had done wrong. So because of that only she was very sad. So at that time her father came into her room with a stick, with ruler. And what he said? He said, I am going to beat you for this. Oh, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. She was just trying to hide her hands under his clothes. But what happened? He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Actually, it was not mistake. It was not mistake of her, but by mistake she did it. So he asked, just show me your hands. It's my order. Please hold out your hands, and you must taught a lesson so that in future you never touch the things which is not belong to you. but it was for you. But what she said, but it was for your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. When she got, so at that time she told, Father, this is for your birthday. So till here I have explained, means I have revised this paragraph number 1 to 7. So in next video I will explain next paragraphs. Thank you.